Show you guys a superset that you probably are not doing. Realistically, you're not supersetting the same exact muscle, but you're probably not really doing either one of these exercises that, in my opinion, when stacked up on top of one another, forget about it, dude. You're gonna have a pump of a lifetime, and I know pump doesn't indicate muscle growth, but you'll see why you're gonna grow here. All right, so let's get into it. Game time. I mean, that is just perfect. I'm fresh off an arm day, and I'm gonna record a tricep video for you guys. Of course I am. As promised, this is going to be a tricep superset. It's gonna be a part 2 of a series, and the way that I do my supersets, as you know, is a bit different. If you're new to this channel, I superset the same exact muscle, but more specifically, the same exact portion of the muscle. So an example, the tricep, is I would do 2 exercises, and you can kind of mix and match. This is where triceps are a little bit different because I always like going compound movement on the front end of a superset, back end isolation. And the thing is triceps are a bit smaller, and the way they get targeted is crazy because it's like kind of different. Like there's a lot of overlap. Like dips, for example, they touch up the medial head and the lateral head, right? And then you have skull crushers that touch predominantly the long head, but also touch the medial head. And so there are some crossovers when it comes to triceps, which is why it's a little bit intricate, but it doesn't matter. Superset, front end, on everything, it's always more gonna be a compound movement that's really moving the needle. You focus on the weight you're pushing or pulling, depending on the day, obviously. But you follow it up with an isolation exercise to then take that muscle to complete failure. That equation is OP. I don't see anybody else doing it. I'm the only one that I've ever met that has ever thought to superset in this way. There's probably some other guy that's doing it too that I have no idea about, in which case, my bad, dude. I didn't see you on the internet. But regardless, we're brothers now. And now you guys have the formula. So I'm fresh off of an arm day. If you're new here, I've been doing 2-a-days for the last few months with no rest days. I don't take rest days either. And, you know, most people be like, Rami, like, you should take a break, man. Like, that's not easy. But then you guys want to have videos. You get what I mean? Like, my AM workouts and my PM workouts, and the way I'm doing them is if, for example, today, I worked out a little bit later than normal, but I hit arms today like an absolute madman. Maybe just a couple hours ago, 3 hours ago. So I'm pretty zinked out, I'm not gonna lie. My CNS is absolutely zapped, and all I want is food, to be honest with you. But this has to be done. We ain't here to take part, we are here to take over. And that means a lot of times doing shit, I honestly, in my head, I'm like, dude, I don't wanna go crush arms. But we already know this. After the first set, you start locking back in, then you just start getting into that animal mode. But it's that first set that's always the worst. So I'm going to show you guys. Let's get right into it. And I'm not going to move too far from here. And you're probably thinking, what is he about to do on an incline? Skull crushers with 3 plates? No, I'm not that much of an animal. I wish I was. But I'm going to show you guys a superset that you probably are not doing. Realistically, you're not supersetting the same exact muscle, but you're probably not really doing either one of these exercises that, in my opinion, when stacked up on top of one another, forget about it, dude. You're gonna have a pump of a lifetime, and I know pump doesn't indicate muscle growth, but you'll see why you're gonna grow here. All right, so let's get into it. Game time. I want to give you guys a better angle on this, and by the way, I mean, unacceptable. I mean, I cannot believe I forgot to not take off the pump cover. I mean, I definitely don't have a pump going on. What stinks is like it's like that soreness, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, oh, I really rocked my body. But I want to show you guys, we're going to do close grip benching on the incline. Brian, what's the difference between incline and flat? Listen, do whatever the one you prefer. I've just been messing around with this incline, and I'm finding that it is absolutely nuts. All right, it's game time. Yeah, I know. Death grip, dude. Yeah, I'm a psycho. And with this, especially, I know a lot of people's elbows flare out. You actually want to keep them kind of tucked in and explode up, just like that. You don't have to do the death grip, but I'm feeling it today, so we might as well rock this out. And I like to maintain. Weightlifting's a lot about maintaining positions. A lot of people don't realize this. It's maintaining this position, holding it, We're gonna hop right over into a really, really nice superset. All right, so I'm thinking it's gonna be the best angle for you guys. Grab yourself just a couple lighter dumbbells, and I'm gonna sit all the way back on this. Let's make sure. Yeah, I should be able to see. And I'm gonna come back just like this. And just like a normal tricep extension, right? But I actually like to come out and curl them in. And it's because it's going to target more the medial head when we turn it in like that. Either way, it's fine. It's not like, oh, you have to add the twist, otherwise it's over. I don't look at things that way. I just fiddle around with a lot of different types of movement. And the one that I can tell is delivering the most stress to the area I'm trying to grow, I rock with. For you, it might just be regular extensions. But for me, I really, really like that variation too. Because I'm not just twisting my wrists at the end. It's actually all part of one motion as I turn. Just like that. Sweet mother of God. Okay. Sink deep into the stretch. That's the game, by the way, with triceps, especially with stuff like this. Let that sucker stretch out your tri and then come up. That's targeted stress, big dog. Oof. Come on. And then come back slow. 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 Oh my gosh. Wow. 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 You know, I'm actually quite upset that I just forgot to take off the pump cover. Like, how did I forget to do that? You know what I mean? Like that is tradition. But you want to know, sometimes brain zapped. I told you guys my CNS is zapped. I'm not thinking straight. But you're getting a pretty raw version of me, which is a good thing. Might have to make some cuts, might have to say some things that, you know, shouldn't make the internet. But the point of that is when it comes to close grip benching, it biases a lot of your medial head. Because you have your long head, which is this big guy over here. You have your lateral, which is the horseshoe. And then your medial, which comes out behind. These two movements bias the medial head. Right? Like when you go close grip, that doesn't mean that's like what I was talking about in the very, very beginning. When it comes to tricep, there's some overlap. Like there's a lot of movements that do two things at once. But we just want to look for the thing that's probably going to do it for us most. So obviously compound movement biasing that medial head, right? Which is why we do the close grip. And like I said, if you prefer doing flat to incline, do that. There's no really wrong or right answer. That's the beauty of this framework. It's really tough to mess it up because your margin for error is so high. Because guess what we did right afterwards? We hit more of an isolation exercise that took that muscle to complete failure. Probably could have gone a little bit deeper on this one. I know on that first set, I was in between. I didn't feel like failing, to be honest, and prying it up. Believe it or not, I had to take WD-40 for this guy because on the last video that I recorded, I nearly died. So I kind of fucked that up a little bit, I won't lie. So it's tough to even get it on the first setting anymore. And so in my head, I'm like, I don't want to keep messing around with this and possibly mess it up even more. And then there'd be no more videos for you guys. So I was actually trying to think of this smart. But that's not my style, let's be honest. I'm kind of just a shoot from the hip kind of dude. Getting back to the point, you have the compound movement, which is the needle mover, and you do want to focus on how much weight you're pushing. Obviously, it's not a strength exercise in terms of the way I've set it up, unless it's the very first thing you're doing. If it's your very first tricep movement, just focus on strength at 4 to 6 reps. I personally prefer weighted dips more than anything for triceps in terms of building strength. That one's great. Close grip bench also is absolutely phenomenal. But if you're going to go into the superset mode, right, that's how I look at it. Is like you want to make sure that this guy right here, because it's the first part of the superset, we want to be pushing weight. And you want to know something? Screw it. I wasn't going to do another superset in terms of a set, you know what I mean? But let's do it because I want to bump up the weight a little bit. And I'll show you guys, like in my head, I think I could have done a little bit more. I could have done a little bit better. And that's the point, is I want to focus on that. Even if I fail at 5 reps, 6 reps, who cares? Because I'm about to go back over here and do what? I'm going to take that muscle to complete failure. So now I'm getting the best of both worlds. I'm getting stronger, but also delivering proper stress to my muscles, which is how our muscles grow. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's get into it. Last set, and then we'll wrap this up. Come on, man. Get the hell out of here. Dude, that's the coolest part about this little basement gym, is that noise is non-existent in most gyms nowadays. Most gyms nowadays have that, just that plastic, you know, you can't hear nothing. Everything's silent. It ain't the same, dude. And we all know this. These weights, although might technically be less than most commercial gyms, for some reason the commercial gyms go up like absolute butter. These ones, so damn difficult to get up. All right, should I change the camera angle? Yeah. For you guys, I'll do it. All right. Game time, boy. And for the grip, I know a lot of people get weird about that as well. I just want to make sure that I'm pressing, like, you can almost feel it when it's pressing correctly, as long as it's kind of a little bit closer than shoulder width apart. That's what I'm thinking personally. You can play around with it. There it is. Nope, not going for it. Pussied out. I fucking pussied out. Damn. All right, superset time. All right, I'm gonna give you guys more of an intricate angle, and that way you can kind of see how I'm stretching this guy out. Just come all the way back. Wherever your head wants to rest, go for it. Just like that. Just want to make sure. Is that a good... I don't even know if that's the angle. That's the stretch you want. Just like that. I'm not gonna lie, boys. I'm absolutely bugging. I don't think this is the right camera angle. That's a weird ass noise, dude. That's not even a grunt. That's the key when people operate till failure. You still have to maintain the positions and push through those positions. Like, I could flare out and get it up, but you want to maintain it all the way through. That's a hell of an angle. As you can see, it's just stupid effective. There is no way not to grow. And what I like about this too, and a little bit of an underlying text when it comes to lifting like this, you're almost building in a little bit of cardio. Like, it's high pace, high energy, and you're moving. Like, you're kind of going through a sprint, you rest afterwards, like this is the rest period, and then you hop back on the saddle. But there is no breaks. You go right from here, right into that. Boom. And you're finished. You get what I mean? 2 to 3 sets, especially if you're just getting started lifting this way, you might be fine with 1 set. I mean, I'm not telling you that as like a low volume guy. Like, you're talking to a guy who does 2 days. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, it's because your body doesn't need it yet. Like, work your body into the shape. That's what I love about the style of lifting, is you actually have to work your body into a shape that can actually sustain this type of lifting. You can't. Otherwise, like, you can keep on doing it, but that is junk volume. Like, I do believe in that. But I do believe you can build your gas tank to be able to handle heavier, higher tension, longer sitting sets. You can put up more weight with less energy, because obviously as the workout moves on, we get tired and more tired and more tired. So obviously we start lifting less kind of on the back end of it. But if you can maintain levels of strength through the end of your lift, of course you're going to be in better shape. That's what I like about, like, I'm in the gym and I'm absolutely sweating my ass off. I look like a mess. Eyes are looking in weird places. You know, you looking at me, you can tell I'm like technically here my body is, but there's nothing behind the eyes. It's just because like it requires a lot out of you. But that's why I like the style of lifting. I don't have to be in the gym that long. Especially if you guys are getting started with this framework, you'll be in the gym for significantly less time and get somehow better results. And most people are like, that's impossible, whatever. I purposely keep things stupid simple because the more knowledge you have doesn't equate to better. I think people think that the more knowledge I have, then it's all going to make sense. It's not true. Most of the work that works is just, it hurts. You know, it's not fun to do the work that works all the time. It's not. But it's effective. And that's what winners do. Winners do the effective work over and over and over again, even when it gets boring. Anyways, if there's anything that you guys are looking for, maybe you guys even want a second part, more parts on the tricep. Maybe you want a different body part. Maybe you guys want me to talk about something else. Obviously, you can see from this channel, we talk about a lot of different stuff. Diet's going to be something that I'm going to start introducing a lot more too, because I know it's kind of a big one. I appreciate you being here, and I hope this was well worth your time. Uncle Rami out. Peace.